last but not least, we are going to touch on 100% unequivocal friend of the channel,
Absolutely.
Angel Reese, who is embarking on a new business move in which she has trademarked the phrase "mebounds" so that
Hysterical.
she can put it on T-shirts and merch and sell it. And anybody else who tries to do the same thing would be infringing on her trademark. So, for anyone who is unaware, "mebounds" is a colloquial term that was created on the internet to describe Angel Reese and the fact that she part of how she's able to get so many rebounds is because she's always catching rebounds from her own misses. So she takes shots in the paint, misses a lot, and then she'll get her own rebound. And she leads the league in rebounding, I believe, right now. She does like 10.9 a game or something like that.
Crazy.
And the internet has been memeing this, calling it the me bound phenomenon because she's rebounding so many of her own misses. And so now what she's doing is saying, you know what, I might as well capitalize on this, trademark it, so that I can start making money off of it. So this says Angel Reese makes power move amid viral joke about her game. Chicago Sky and WNBA star Angel Reese has been the center of a joke about her game ever since she entered the league. Reese has proven to be a sensational rebounder over her season plus in the league, but she has faced jokes and criticism about a lot of her rebounds coming off her own misses down low. In fact, there's a phrase for it, me bounds. Reese recently reacted to the joke and took it all in stride and even gave credit to whoever came up with the hilarious phrase. Whoever came up with the me bounds thing, y'all ate that up because rebounds, B bounds, cree bounds, key bounds, T bounds, anything that comes off that board is mine, Reese said on social media. But Reese isn't stopping there. According to the U.S. Patent Office, per Will Stern of Click.com, Reese filed a trademark claim on me bounds for use on t shirts, sweatshirts, and hats. Reese, respect to Reese for taking a troll and trying to turn it into a business opportunity. Reese's play on the court hasn't been the only reason for attention. Her feud with Indiana Fever superstar Caitlin Clark has painted her as a villain in the eyes of Clark's supporters. While the Sky have struggled early on this season, Reese has been posting solid numbers, averaging 10.4 points. So I was off by one whole rebound, 11.9 rebounds per game. The
Damn.
latter mark is tops in the WNBA. Angel Reese makes okay, so yeah, that's the end of that. So yeah, bro, Angel Reese is trademarked the phrase "me bounds" so that she can put it on merch and try to make money off of it. What do you think about this power move on her behalf? Taking a meme that meant to make fun of her game and turning it into something that can make her some cash.
Yeah. I think it's a smart play. This is definitely moving a chess piece in the right direction, dealing with these internet people that are going to town on her, man. I mean, they have been relentless this season, and she's giving them a lot of fuel. I'm not gonna lie, she's giving them a lot of fuel. She's got a lot of low lights this season with some of these clips that are floating around. So the me bound thing, when I first saw it, I was like, well, somebody misspelled rebound, next. But then I saw it in other comment sections and I was like, oh, wow. So y'all saying that, okay, well, I get it. The wild part about it is that, and by the way, trolling is at an all new high. So I'm surprised that new terms are getting coined to describe things. But the whole wild thing about it is, I've never seen this happen so much with one person, in the sense that they miss so many point blank layups that they end up getting their own rebounds at such an astonishing rate. So for somebody to witness it so many times and for them to come up with the term me bounds, it's also a wow phenomenon that in and of itself. But for her to take that and to throw it on shirts or whatever's and make it a thing, um yeah, she's gonna get cash out of that. If she follows up on it. So yeah, she can make herself a nice little penny off of that. So that's not a bad look on her behalf. I think that's pretty chill. But just looking at her shooting percentage this year, bro, um, she's shooting. It's better than what it was earlier, but it's still 36%. Um, 36%.
Doesn't she takes most of her shots close to the basket, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. All of her stuff is within the paint. She'll take a jump shot here or there, but the majority of them are in the paint. And she's shooting 36% currently, which is
That's not that good. That's
that
kind of
is
rough.
that is astonishingly low.
Yeah.
Um, so there's this running joke going on online, man, where these guys are taking the bet that Angel Reese is going to miss her first shot. And they had a nice little streak going. It was like 7, 8 games in a row where they were just acting like they were cashing out
I
because
think I saw that. Yeah.
yeah, man, it
Yeah.
is a and people are running together, low light thing. Like people are going in on her. So here's my thing, and not all of it is from you know basement dweller Caitlin Clark fans. Okay, I mean, it's coming from across the board, with people being, you know, critical of her. And honestly, rightfully so. Last thing I'll say is that it looks like she has regressed. Um, so last year it said she was shooting 39%, which isn't any better. I mean, it is technically better, but she's shooting 3% lower, which is hard to fathom when most of your shots are coming in the paint.
Yeah.
So there's other parts of her game as well that looks. Her turnovers are up over. It was 2.2 last year. This year is 3.6. All right. So it's parts of her game that just doesn't look correct. Uh, she was more polished last year, which is hard for some people to believe. So I don't know what she has going on. A lot of people are contributing that to her off-season behavior. She out here acting like podcast P and then coming in here and then laying bricks. So it's giving the people that already felt some type of weight towards her more ammo. And so they've been really digging in on her this season. And it's hard to defend if you're somebody that goes, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Let that girl rock out, you know. But, she's having a rough season, at least at the start. But for her to throw this hat in the ring to, I guess, get a bag out of it, to clap back at haters, to let them know that their hating is still fueling her and making her a bag, that's not a bad look on her behalf. But overall, as somebody that wants to see, her win, um, this hasn't been a good start to the season, I would say. But what are your thoughts, man, on Angel Reese taking the term mebounds, flipping it, trademarking it so she can get a bag out of it? What are your thoughts, bro?
I think it's smart because she is not going to make the majority of her money as a player because she's not. I think the Caitlin Clark. I think that the dynamic between her and Caitlin Clark set her up to fail
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
now she shares some responsibility in that because she leaned into a lot of it.
She did.
So some of it is of her own doing because she didn't have to conduct herself towards Caitlin Clark the way she did. She chose to do that.
She did.
She chose to antagonize Caitlin Clark specifically. Caitlin Clark did not bring that smoke to her. Angel Reese brought that smoke to Caitlin Clark,
She
going
did.
all the way back to when they were in college. So she is accountable for a lot of that. But having said that, the dynamic between her and Caitlin Clark set her up to fail because what happened was due to how explosive that situation was in terms of the way people were talking about it, it made it a situation in which any critique that you made towards Angel Reese couldn't necessarily be about basketball. It must be about women or black people or black women. So, like, if you make a critique about Angel Reese's game, you must be some sort of a cloak and dagger undercover hater of black women or black people or women in general. So, I think when you have that situation going on, you're creating an environment in which people are chomping at the bit to take you down because they're over it and they're annoyed with the fact that they can't reasonably critique you as a player without being called out for being some kind of a hater. So like people are just annoyed. And so because it's like if you and I saw there was a I mean we just talked about Ryan Clark and RG3.
Mhm.
I mostly took RG3's side on that because I see it the same way RG3 does. Now RG3 said, I think Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. If you want to take issue with the semantics of the use of the word hate, fine. But what RG3 was saying was Angel Reese, I think, has an axe to grind against her. And I agree with that. If you've been watching them since college and even since they've been pros, it seems like Angel Reese has some kind of problem with Clark. It looks that way. It looks that way. But if you point that out, here comes the gaslighter, Ryan Clark, saying RG3 can't talk like that because he doesn't have a black wife. It's
Damn.
it's ridiculous. So I feel like the dynamic set Angel Reese up to fail because it put her in this pocket where if you try to critique her from a basketball standpoint, you're then in turn going to have to defend yourself against the idea that your comments come from a place that's deeper than basketball. And I think a lot of people are just saying, this is a basketball take. It is what it is. And so the reason why I bring that up is because like the overwhelming amount of hugabaloo
Mhm.
around Angel Reese, it created an environment in which I feel her game and her abilities as a basketball player were elevated beyond what she actually is. I actually believe that she's never been more than a mediocre to average player, in my opinion. Like watching her at LSU, she looked like a complimentary role player. She didn't
Mhm.
look like somebody who had the potential to be a good to great player. She looked like somebody who was going to fit in, and it would be up to the organization to maximize her abilities as best as possible. But to me, she never looked like somebody who had even good potential. She looked like somebody who could like succeed as a good rebounder and a good defensive player who might in spurts give you some offense here or there.
Mhm. Mhm.
But the way the media played it up because of the Caitlin Clark dynamic was she's coming in as a quasi equal to Caitlin Clark,
Yeah. No.
or she's coming into the NBA as somebody who, in her own right, could be a great player. I don't think she ever was that. I think at best she's a. I think at best she's average, and at worst she's mediocre. Now, the reason why I bring that up is to say moves like this are smart because I don't see her making the majority of her ends as a player. So it's smart for her to capitalize on every opportunity that she can.
Mhm.
And this trademark is emblematic of that because I don't see her getting top end WNBA contracts. I don't see that for her. I see her getting whatever the equivalent of a mid level is in the WNBA. That's her ceiling to me. So she's going to have to capitalize on things off the court in order to supplement the ends that she thinks that she's going to want to make, especially with the way that she conducts herself outside of basketball. So to me, this is smart on her behalf. It's a bit unfortunate, I suppose, that it had to come at her expense in terms of it being sort of memeish territory. But I kind of think she has some responsibility in that whole situation because she played into that whole dynamic between her and Caitlin Clark coming out of college, and she didn't necessarily have to do that. This whole notion of people or the sports world at large treating her like a villain, she played a hand in that. She's responsible for a lot of that. She even called herself the willing villain at one point. She
Mhm.
did that. So she's responsible for a lot of that. Uh, good luck. If she is able to parlay this into some sort of a branding opportunity where she can make money, I think she's better served for it because I don't think the majority of her ends are going to come from her being a player.
Yeah, man. Well said, dog. And what this has taught me is the next time a memeable phenomenon comes around, I'm going to be the one to trademark it. if somebody comes out and oh yeah, and it's the next thing, I'm gonna hop out there and trademark it, and then they go like, oh, who the hell is this guy? Well, but just buy it from me. No, then I'm gonna make a bag off of it. I think that's what this whole situation taught me as well. I was like, damn, I was moving slow on that one.
Maybe we should try to meme ourselves here.
I don't
Maybe
know, man. I don't know, bro. Memes are hard to get off your skin, man. So we need to trademark box pop.
yeah, yeah,
That's what we need to do, man. But yeah, all in all, man, you know, call me a white knight or blue pill, man. Um, I do want Angel to succeed. And I'm not saying that you don't, but I do want Angel to succeed as a player. I do feel as though I agree with your assessment of her. I do feel as though it was overhyped. I do feel as though she was a good role player on her team with other good players when she was at LSU. And when they unleashed her in Chicago, it was a situation of they were giving her the keys to something that she doesn't have the license to drive. You shouldn't be taking that many shots. You shouldn't be handling the ball as much as you do. You should be getting rebounds, and putbacks, and playing defense as you can. Um, so, uh, and so she's been playing a little bit out of role lately. I've been seeing that. I see her bringing the ball up the court. She had her first triple double. Good for her. You know what I'm saying? But still, it's very not efficient. And her team, I believe, is suffering not solely because of her, but she's contributing to these losses. So I hope she tightens it up, man. You know, it's just wild out here. But at the end of the day, as you mentioned, man, a lot of this was brought on herself. That same level of delulu-ness that she was saying that, hey, call me the villain, and now crying that she's the villain. It's the same one that posts, damn near butt booty naked and then
right,
say, I'm being over sexualized.
right, yeah,
It's the same person. So it's hard to feel sorry for somebody who brings on a lot of this attention to themselves like this. So, um, and so even when she did the trademarking of this, I'm assuming it was around the same time as the article mentioned. She was like, she was just dressed in her futuristic gear,
right.
clapping back at people like, oh yeah, basically I got something for y'all, and it's like, yeah, man, I don't know when you're gonna learn, Miss Angel, but you're not gonna beat the internet.
It's undefeated.
You're not going to beat the internet, man.
Hey,
So at
the
some
internet,
point,
the
she's gonna
internet,
have to learn to fall back, man.
yeah, the internet is undefeated. It is. There's two things in life that's undefeated: Father Time and the internet.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, I just and listen, man. It's easy to see the way that she like her podcasting and some of the stuff that she said and being on Wild and Out with the booty shorts.
That's right. That's right.
It's easy to say she cares about being a famous celebrity type person more than basketball. It's easy to say that in light of the fact that she does that. But at the same time, in order for you to believe that that is somehow infringing on her basketball potential, you'd have to believe that her basketball potential is somewhere at a level that suggests doing that kind of stuff shortchanges her ability. And I don't know how much of her ability is being shortchanged because of her other interests. I kind of feel like she is what she is as a player. Now, if I'm proven wrong and she gets better and improves, I have no problem being wrong on that. I really don't. I would love to see her evolve into being more of a star player, but at this moment in time, I don't see it. And the thing about people generally are consistent across the board. A person who has that potential for greatness on the court is also going to conduct themselves off the court in such a way which suggests that they're putting in the work to maximize on that potential.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't see Caitlin Clark doing thirst trapping the way you see Angel Reese doing thirst trapping.
Nah.
No, you don't see it. Like some of the premier players in the WNBA, you don't see that kind of stuff. Even like the Asia Wilson, like she's like the best player in the WNBA, and she has commercials and whatever, but she's not doing that kind of same stuff the way Angel Reese does.
Right.
And I don't think that's a coincidence. So something suggests to me that she is who she is, and which means that she is what she is as a player. So anybody who feels slighted because she's not doing this or that, or doing too much of this or that, I feel like you have unreasonable expectations of what she is, which I believe comes from what came from her being in college and the hoopla around it.
Agreed.
So a lot of people are looking at her through these rose-colored glasses, and it's like she was never somebody who had that top end potential. She's always been somebody who maxes out as an average professional.
Mm-hmm.
So I think people need to look at her game and approach that accordingly. And I feel like she to me is going to be one of those people who, when she's done playing, is going to have a more impactful, greater career post basketball because the seeds are already there. She's already trying to be a celebrity, famous person. She's already trying to be a socialite. She's already said she's only going to be able to date NBA players. She's already given the talking points of somebody who's ready to transition into that space. So why not do the thing and sell the merch? Because it all works in accordance with that ecosystem. So to me, that's more on brand with how I see her long term than being a Hall of Fame basketball player. And again, if I end up being wrong, so be it. I don't mind being wrong. But right now, that's kind of what it looks like. So it is what it is. But yeah, you show up to NBA games wearing sheer pants with a thong, and you're doing your talking points, and you're twerking it up with Sexy Red on your podcast. I mean, I'm left with no other choice than to believe that basketball for you is like your job, but all of the rest of that stuff is what you really love. And when that is the case, might as well sell the merch because you're gonna have to maximize and diversify your portfolio as much as possible.
Yeah, and the last thing, and I agree, bro. And the last thing I'll say is that, at least for me, my expectations for her were, I saw what I saw in college. I wasn't really blown away, but I thought she would be effective, playing in the WNBA, and she did the rebounding well, and the blocking shots was decent too. But last year was serviceable for her. I felt, for a rookie, just not getting out there, but this year's been a regress. And I think she was doing too much. And it's not, like, as you say, it's easy to say that now. You got all of this activity, this digital footprint online, and it's bigger than your impact on the court. It's bigger than the impact that was a year ago. You fell off in 1 year. So it's just like, hey man, you got to tighten it up. But who knows if she keeps playing, if she has a long career and is allowed to start, who knows? These rebounding rates, she's going to be a Hall of Famer off that alone.
Yeah, yeah.
So she's on the path. She's on a trajectory. They're going to give her accolades. Hell, she was already an all-star last year. She's going to be an all-star this year.
Yeah, I see her having her best single season where she's like defensive player of the year.
Yeah, she's going to get all of that.
Yeah, yeah.
So she's going to be a Hall of Famer if she keeps playing. But the thing is, and the league definitely wants it too, because she does bring her own eyes to the game, even though viewership went down 50-something% when Caitlin Clark got her.
Yeah.
I said, God damn, well, hey man, but yeah, I thought Angel was gonna be, more of a player, but nah, man, she's more, as you mentioned, bro. She's falling into the fold with the other girls that are out there that are good. I mean, there's some girls out there that's getting busy and they don't get half the recognition that Angel Reese gets. But that Paige girl, she's official, bro.
Paige Beckers,
yeah, she's official, man. She get busy out there, man. So
yeah,
I think the comparisons are closer between those two at this point already than Reese and Caitlyn, because Caitlyn is just wiping the floor with that at this point.
Absolutely. It's not even close.
Yeah.
It's not even close. I don't know how anybody with a straight face can seriously suggest that there is some proximity between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Like you're an idiot, I feel like, if you try to do that. You know what I'm saying? And that don't mean that I don't like women or black women. Like, get
you
over
sure
it.
about that? Hey man, ask Ryan Clark, man.
Ryan Clark can't come at me because I got a black mom and a black sister. I got a black mom, I got a black sister, I got black cousins, I got black nieces. So come for me, Ryan Clark, because you can't use the same logic you use with RG3. You can miss me with that BS.
Ryan Clark is hysterical, bro.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. I just kind of feel like you are who you are. And I'm looking at all of these other WNBA players who are getting busy, and none of them are on my timeline with the same photos and videos as Angel Reese.
Agreed.
None of them are given the same talking points as Angel Reese.
Agreed.
None of them are getting scandalous and twerking on their podcast like Angel Reese.
Agreed. And some of them you don't want to see that, but
Agreed. Yes, agreed. But you get my point. Yeah. I think all of that is correlated. So and I can hear people now. She can do whatever she wants. Blah blah blah. Yes, she can do whatever she wants. That's not what we're suggesting. What I'm suggesting, at least, is there's a correlation between those who excel at the highest level as a pro athlete and how they conduct themselves with their off the court or off the field dealings. Period. You can try to, yes, everyone is free and entitled to do whatever they want, but there is undoubtedly a correlation between how the highest excelling performers conduct themselves when it comes to what they do outside of their relative playing field. And that's in all sports, not just the WNBA. So it is what it is, period. But listen, like I said, bro, if I'm proven wrong on the future projection of Angel Reese's career, I'll happily eat that crow, because I actually do want to see her be good. But what I have seen thus far, I'm not seeing it. And I think everything around her is a bunch of hoopla and hearsay.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think she needs to give up all that ancillary stuff, but she won't. So if she can find a way to balance all of that, cool. But right now, it doesn't seem like she can.
If there was a feasible way to balance being great with doing all of that stuff, then there'd be more WNBA players doing it. Mm-hmm. Like there'd be more of the top tier high end players doing the same kind of stuff she does. The reason why you don't see it is because it's understood. There's no real way to strike that kind of a balance. You can do endorsements, and you can have commercials, and you can be an influencer and whatnot, but she's being a real housewife. She's being she's being a basketball wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's doing that kind of stuff. Like, she's being a top pocket box rapper, without the rapping,
Fair, bro. Fair, man.
She's doing the box pop without the pop.
Damn.
Hey, come at me, Angel Reese fans. I'm here. I ain't ducking.
Hey, man. And I'm not getting no mebounds shirt because it still sounds weird, but shout out to Angel Reese for trademarking. She beat me to the punch. Next meme, I'm trademarking, and I don't give a damn, bro.
Yeah, facts. Hey, y'all. We out of here. That does it once again for another edition of the Conscious Approach channel on YouTube. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. We certainly appreciate everybody who was checking us out on the live feed, and to anybody who checks us out via the individual uploads of the videos, thank you in advance for checking us out. And if this is your first time checking us out and you appreciate the content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because this is how we like to get down each and every week and each and every day. My name is JV Wins. That, of course, is Dogon SS. Check me out on IG at JV Wins, JVWINS. Check out Conscious Approach on Instagram at ConApproach, CONAPPROACH, as well as on TikTok. Same thing at ConApproach, CONAPPROACH. Check us out on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, as we continue to be any and everywhere possible for anyone who likes to engage with the content. And until next time, as I always like to say, think for yourself, Don't be a group thinker. Have a mind of your own. And until next time, folks, we'll catch you on the flip side.
Yeah. And the name is Dogon SS. And you can find me on Instagram, Dogon_SS, on YouTube, DraftKings, MySpace, hell man, Facebook, Meta, X, Twitter. Hey man, if there's a social media platform out there, Dogon_SS is out there. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow, and all that good stuff from there. All right. And as I say on every part, guys, thank you for hitting the like button. All right, consciously leaving a comment. We greatly appreciate all the engagement, man. We greatly appreciate y'all watching. All right, hey man, we're just two low-key guys out here doing it big on the internet, man. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys like our takes on these things, man, some of them are spicy, man. Some of them are right down the middle, man. But for the most part, bro, it's all authentic, man. And we just, you know what I'm saying, being ourselves on this thing, man. So we greatly appreciate y'all joining the ride. So until the next time, everybody, don't be too high, don't be too low. Keep it calm, keep it chill, keep it player. And don't let anybody get you off your pivot. So until the next time, peoples, I got more rings than Robert Ory. And I'll see y'all in the next episode.
Yeah. That's right. That is right. Oh, and ladies, don't let anybody tell you differently. If you are with your man and you like to be on all fours with your hair pulled, you're not being regressive. That is not regressive, ladies and gentlemen. Don't listen to all of that BS on the internet. That is not regressive. Only with your man, though. It's got to be with your man. But yes, that is permitted on this side. So, having said that, we'll see y'all later. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for the support. We'll catch you next week. Peace.
Peace. Stay on all fours, ladies. Hey, that's what JV wins. I ain't say that. Hey, man, go Canes. Yeah. Hell yeah. Hey, man, you wild for that.